All right, folks, welcome back to another replay analysis. We're going to be hopping into a replay for YeetSeekingMissile, otherwise known as Nick in game, who we're currently focused on now in our Fennec main. We've got to love it. So he is going to, he sent us a win and a loss. He's the same thing. He's part of our ASAP Weekly Patreon tier, paying monthly to get replay reviews done by yours truly. And so we're doing these on stream and then recording them and putting them on YouTube as well. So actually, this is, I believe, the last of the replays that have been sent for the tier so far. But I believe there's two other people who just haven't sent me them yet. So expect more in the future. And I'm going to be doing these very early in the month normally now, I think is going to be my plan. So I can get them out of the way early and then give people the month to talk to me. I think is kind of where I want to go with this. If they have any questions or want to grow on anything or meet up with other players in their similar rank, unfortunately, I neglected to ask YeetSeekingMissile his, or I'll just call him Nick for now. I neglected to ask Nick his rank before we started. I know we have Dave in chat right now who did play with him, so he might actually know his rank. Dave, if you do, that would be great, because I don't quite know it off the top of my head. I can look it up. He did sign up for a tournament, so I would have his MMR, but I'd rather just hop in, obviously, into the replay if Dave knows. But yeah, so we're going to be hopping on in. Same thing, he sent us win and a loss, as we do for everybody, and we're going to be rolling on through there. So buckle up, and showtime. All right, so we start her off. Nick, for some reason, everyone I'm reviewing always is set up for the kickoff. You got to love it. So Nick's going in. Interesting for the delay on the kickoff. I'm curious if this is intentional or not, but see how late he jumps here, folks, is that since he jumps so late, he doesn't have time to land and then jump again into that area for the kickoff. So he actually recovers beautifully here by saving that little extra bit of boost so he can keep boosting just to reach the ball and then still get a good touch on it. So awkward is hard to replicate, like not what I recommend for kickoff, but regardless, I'm not going to comment too much on it. We go from there. Swing half flip, we already know that, which is nice. Interesting to turn back in for the boost. I do often kind of with that, but we see a very strong back post rotation. Allows him to easily catch that, work that out. Really, really well played. I see him looking for the pass here too, maybe. Unfortunately, a little lack of foresight right here means that he isn't able to, because he should be able to see, in my opinion at least with his camera settings, when he catches here, as he dribbles, he should see by now. I know now he can't, but just before this, you should be able to see the defender is full boosting at you right now. And you do have a teammate who's going in for the hit, which is great. And I'm happy to see that he has the support there. But this is actually where I'd fake right now, because you actually do, truthfully, provided you keep yourself in a decent position right now, you actually do have Ghost Maceo in a beautiful position in net. He's leaning up a little bit, but he's in a good position to go for a fake right now, and that's kind of what I recommend. And you can see how you end up just kind of passing the ball right into him instead. So something to keep in mind when you're going for these kind of cuts. Always be trying your best to study that defender when you're coming in. So our guess in chat is around C1, C2. I can look it up afterwards. We'll say C2 for now, because he does actually look quite confident. Great dodges there. Able to stay on that back post. Oh, beautiful tip. Woo! Okay, well, see, I don't really, truthfully, I wasn't looking all too much. Obviously, you can I'd ask that you react a little faster. That's not something that's coachable at all. You were in a good position, man. That was a beautiful shot on that, so don't worry too much about that one. Good patience there. I want to see you in the play right now, right? So you see Hobson take this over. So let's actually take a bit of a tighter look at this. So Hobson passes. I truthfully think he was trying to pass here. He was hoping that you were actually working up through. I think he was looking for that passing lane. You're not there. Not a huge deal. You're playing that third man, which I think is smart because Ghost Maceo, holy, what a circle. Ghost Maceo is a little slow getting back. We already can tell from his trajectory here that he's going to be going back and cycling back into net here. So you now need to be technically your other teammate in this play. So what I want to be seeing is you full boosting into the middle here to be ready in this passing lane as this ball goes across, because we already know Hobson's going to be following it out. You already have Maceo rotating in back behind. And the best part then about doing this, and this is, I see this all the time with mid-champ players, man. They're just worried to get in the play. You need to, if you want to get into the GC. If you ever wonder why players feel faster than you, and when you play like a high C3 into GC, higher GC, wherever you are, if players feel faster than you, truthfully, they're not. They just have better positioning. That is literally all it is. There's a reason all the cars can only go the same speed in this game, right? There's only two ways that players can feel faster. It's that if they have better positioning than you, or if they have better boost management than you. Those are the only two ways that a car can actually be faster than anyone else on the field. And when you turn back in here to the defense, you now have one player rotating back post, and then you doing a little loop, which makes a second player rotating back post, and then you leave old Hobson being the only person going for this ball. So you need to be the one moving into this play because, and this is what I'm saying, if let's say Hobson loses this ball, you're not overly aggressive here. You're not in a negative position because all it takes is you already have, like I said, you already have Ghost Maceo rotating to the back post, who will turn into that 1 when that challenge is lost. You're going to be rotating back around then and following that, turning into that number 2, and then like I said, Hobson just went for the challenge. He's gonna be somewhere over here, and he'll be coming back in as that number 3 behind you on defense. So you end up still having, I know this looks chaotic, but you end up having this perfect still rotation while also being hyper aggressive on offense and creating passing lanes and creating passing plays. Too often do I see players around the C1, C2, even C3 who will not challenge balls, and we just did one in the replay analysis before this, and we were seeing that a lot with that player, is that he wasn't challenging enough, and we see it again here. When you turn back out of this thinking, oh, Hobson's got it, what do we get? A ball back into your end, unfortunately, right? And then Ghost Maceo thinks he needs to be up in the play now instead. So now you end up being stuck on this 3-man position and never get to use any offensive skills, which we've already seen, because I can already tell you're a patient player who's been able to catch, dribble, flick, do the work. So if you won't have enough opportunities to actually showcase those skills if you're constantly sitting back. Really good air roll there, and a beautiful recovery. Would have liked to see a little wave dash here, something just a very, very small thing. You go here into quickly a jump, and then into a diagonal wave dash while drifting will actually most likely get you supersonic at the speed you're already going, but now you have to use a little bit of extra boost just to get there, and then jump at that. I would not have jumped at that, man. So you could tell you knew right away that you knew you weren't hitting this ball because you weren't boosting. You did not think you were actually going to be getting into this. You weren't going to be blocking this ball. You're not going to be getting into that because you don't use your boost. So why jump? Well, there's no point in jumping at this point unless you're turning around to jump and wave dash back the other way. A wave dash, just for people in chat, and I know I'm very confident that Nick knows this, so that's why I'm just using the terminology for him, is when you jump, but instead of flipping, you flip as your wheels are touching the ground, so your car doesn't have anywhere to front flip, so it just stays on the ground, so you get the speed of a front flip, but you don't use the front flip itself. So it's a great way without boost to still gain speed without having to use an entire flip every single time. Big miss for your teammate, that's unfortunate. So really good recovery. You're there in time. Close. I want to see you cut these angles much harder. Right now, you know that you're the only goalie. So this is where, kids, this is where your math skills come in. You gotta pull the protractor, and so your only job right now is to cut the line from the closest to your position. So you need to be cutting this line right now towards the net. And so actually, if I go into free cam and we'll let it play out so I can show you what this line actually looks like, because I also see this a lot. So right now, your line should be probably, it's what I tend to do, say, is you want to be going to this kind of inside color of the post is going to be end up being one of the best ways to actually cut an angle down. So I want to be seeing front of your car right to this line right now. But we instead see, if we go back and actually press play now, oh no, I want to fly. I'm so dumb. Line up again. It's not quite lined up. It's good enough. You ready? See that angle, right? Am I on like 200%? So that angle gives him so much more net to shoot at because you spent more time trying to go to him rather than to your net. And same thing if we watch from the top here instead. Let's go back ever so slightly. So if we watch, all you need to be doing right now, because even from the top, and you obviously can't see this perspective in game, he has a very, very clear shooting lane to just basically cut the ball right there. Meet the ball when it's on your line, and then working right through. The time that it takes you to get here is far shorter than the time it's going to take you to do to here, right? This is much less time to cut this down, and I'm sure I'm a broken record at this point. I'm sure you've heard this before, but far too often do I see players cut this early thinking that they can win this ball when all you need to do is cut to this post instead. You want to be aiming for this area right here to cut down this angle, and then same thing if we watch it, you can see what I mean. With the same amount of speed, you would have been here right now, and then by the time that, if we continue the ball, by that point, you would have already been like here, right? And you would have actually had the save to clear it into the corner rather than him going post and out. And that's a huge part of this angles. That is something that is so small, but is the difference between you looking like the best goalie who's ever touched the game and held the sticks versus someone who just like, couldn't get there, unfortunately. Right? So big thing to keep in mind. 40 seconds in, we're 45 seconds in, we're already getting a lot of good work. And what I'm really liking about you, Nick, right now is that this is a lot of very, very, very small adjustments. Like, this is things that you can work on in a couple days, and you'll be set on. Ghost Maceo cuts you off here. Can't blame you for going for this. This is very much your ball. But when you see Ghost Maceo turn, and I was just talking about this in the last one as well, this happens a lot with solo queuing. We'll see. Are you solo queuing? You are. Halt. Stop at that line. Don't go any further. Stay right where you are. Let him make the play he needs to, because if we were to stay right now and that ball happens, you at least get to be able to stay in net. You didn't need that boost, and now it's not Ghost. It'd be you going for this ball, not Ghost Maceo, who has literally 0 boost on this play and then has a pretty unfortunate bounce off, right? Which now forces you to have to make a quick save, which actually is a pretty gnarly rebound, and he puts it on, and the backflip hurts. So this is the snowball of Rocket League. Hands down, is if I made YouTube videos, this is the first YouTube video I'd make, was what a snowball is. And the snowball in Rocket League is when you make one poor decision and it takes you so long to get back to it that the problems keep growing and growing and growing and growing, that it feels like, well, your teammate there had a bad clear because he didn't have boost. Neither of your teammates were able to recover in time after your first save to make the clear out your rebound. And little things like that is where, truthfully, the play just wouldn't have happened if you had waited a little longer there. And to say it's your fault is wrong. It's not your fault. That goal is not your fault. But there are ways that you can still do it better, right? And there are ways that you can kind of associate yourself a little stronger and play a little more into the way that we see. I don't really know how to word it, but play a little more into what your teammates are doing. And if they're doing things wrong, at least you're not double committing into it. If you're not rushing into these negative things and these negative traits of your teammates, and you can now be the best player on the field regardless of how bad your teammates are playing, right? And that's a huge part of what I work with a lot of my guys who solo queue, is allowing them to be the best players on the field without detrimenting their team, even if their team is absolute garbage, which often it feels like solo queuers are, right? Unfortunately. So, nice try from Ghost Maceo. Good positioning from you again. But see how you're getting stuck on this third line again? You're stuck as this third man the entire time. That was less relevant there because your team was doing a little two-man passing play. But, like, look at your speed, man. Really good attempt on the shot. You're such a speedy player, but I talked about it in one of the other replay analysis. A lot of times rotations in Rocket League are kind of like in an interstate or in a highway. You need to be strong enough to nudge your nose in sometimes just to merge, to make sure players don't think that you're the slow Sunday driver that doesn't need to be in a rotation, right? You need to stick your nose in there and be the one forcing the play. Great positioning again. Looking really good on that back post. Don't jump. Good job not using boost. I'm happy you kept the 100. Well done. Careful on the jumps, right? So I'm seeing a lot of like big jumps where you think you're gonna be making the big play kind of thing. Right here, you already know he's gonna be getting the touch. Like you know well in advance he's making this touch. So quick pause, wait. You have two teammates behind you already with full boost and are in net, so there's no panic on this play at all. Now you can win that 50 easy peasy, but now you're out of the play and your teammate has to make the 50 instead, right? Slow her down, keep her calm, be intentional, right? Every single thing you do should be intentional. Again, similar here, you had this player beat by a mile and you knew it, right? You hands down knew it. So why are you jumping so early before the ball has even touched the ground when you could be going for a half volley? I don't know how much you've been able to read chat as you're watching this later, but a couple guys in chat who I guess who had played with you in the tournament were saying you're really good at hitting boomers. And so this is, if you're good at that, use it here, right? You are so far ahead of this player who isn't cutting the angle that we talked about, right? He is instead coming directly for the trajectory of the ball instead of actually cutting it, whereas all you need to do is wait for the half volley, meet it on the ground, and you can see his line is already off, and boom that in on net with a half volley. That's literally all you got to do in this play. But instead, what we end up seeing is an early jump that results in you having to air roll and beat him low, which is good because he jumps. But look at the line you have, right? If you're a little more patient, that's a goal for your team instantly, and you're back in this game. And from the replay tracker, I can see you guys end up getting the goal anyways, and really, really good positioning there. Pass out to one of the lads. No one goes, unfortunately. But good job staying tight. I love it. I love it. Too many players don't do it. Great pass across from your teammate, and the banger. Great shot, right? Could have just come a little sooner, right, is the big thing I think I see here. Great play, though. Great angle. Great aerial. Interesting from your teammates. So I'm starting to believe then this just must be your attempted kickoff. I will never change someone's style. I'm never going to tell you what's the right kickoff to do or things like that. Like, I refuse to do so as a coach. But I can't see that being a super consistent kickoff. If you've been able to find that, don't stop. Use it, man. Be the creative player. That's what's going to get you to GC, is being creative. Just make sure if you're finding it stops being consistent, start kind of assessing yourself. Watch some replays, see what you're doing, see how you're getting beat, and then make your own call from there, right? But otherwise, keep doing what you're doing, man. Looks really good. Good attempt. I'm not mad at that jump. I think that's a fine jump, because there's a chance he missed that ball. Oh, good job. You were incredibly tight to your teammate, but it was needed, so which is fine. Not sure completely how I feel about this boost grab here. Specifically why is because this ball goes over, and you already know that this is going to be a very hard challenge for your team. So all this takes is a really good center, and now you're going to be the one caught getting boost rather than being in net or back post, right? And fortunately, he doesn't get a good center, and you do have enough time to grab that boost. But if that shot was behind Hobson, who was leaning front post, probably thinking you were back post, to be honest, then, like, in my opinion, that goes on you, right, if that goes in. And similarly, when you jump at the same time with Hobson, but you could have seen that he'd already turned, right, and just slow her down, right? Or slow her down, or a big part right now is you see actively in terms of seeing your information, and this goes back to, like, nudging in and putting your nose in there to be part of the rotation. There are actively 3 blue defenders in your corner, and your player has an open view on the net right now. So I would be saying, in my head, if I'm the player, before I even come close to this jump, I'm hard drifting and absolutely gunning it downfield to see if I can catch them on this, because literally all 3 of you could go right now and still they are not going to have a scoring opportunity to get it the other way, because they're going to have to get behind the ball to stop it from going in to then bring it back the entire way. So as long as you guys aren't fully committing into their corners, there's absolutely no harm in all 3 of you rushing here. And something I worked a lot with when I was coaching teams was trying to get them to take these opportunities, because your like intelligent rotating mind tells you, no, we can't have all 3 players go forward, can't happen. But this is how teams get stuck and don't have offense, right, is not taking opportunities like this. So you end up jumping anyways, which again isn't the end of the world, but you don't flick. I really appreciate that you choose not to flick on that. A big pop up, good center. Where's the squad? They miss. There's the squad. Easy move. Good job. Really good pull after that. I spy a kickoff goal in the chat. Good try on the read. You did exactly what I was going to tell you to do. The only difference, truthfully, is I would have much rather see you get this boost, and as soon as this pops, you know you're not getting this, but you go down to then go up on it. So, like, you couldn't make up your mind as to what you wanted to do. If you know you're not jumping for the ball, just move into the next spot in rotation. And for you, that next spot is staying on the wall and playing backboard, right? So if you didn't do that, and if we watch, I'll pause once we go up here, before you start going down, if I go to fly right now, what I would much rather see in this play, if you know you're not going, is because you already see that Ghost Maceo is going to be rotating into net to try and make the save. So he has the shot covered. He should. If he misses it, that's his fault. That's not yours. You need to be, imagine your car is right here right now. You need to be driving across and kind of hovering in this area, because odds are the ball is going to be hitting somewhere here from the angle of this guy's aerial. And if we watch, I can't remember exactly where it is, but we'll see if I'm correct. Oh, it moves, unfortunately, because I was on Nick. If we go back like that, yeah, see what I mean? So it's like, obviously it's a little more to the left, but that's even easier for you, right? Like, that was directly in your line of where you would have been if you chose to stay with that wall, right? And then it's a much easier hit for them. So again, this goes back a little bit to the, like, could your teammate have had that read? Maybe. Like we could have put that on him, probably around your rank. Like, we could have said that. But here's a way that you can be the best player on the field to fix your teammates' mistakes even before they happen, right? Just by reading that backboard and choosing to stay with it, being confident in your decision making, not hesitating and going up or down, little things like that. So we'll keep it rolling now. So interesting, that's your kickoff. I'm very, very intrigued, if I'm being honest with it. Good job on the back post. And the breakout looks really good. And you see Ghost. Or just bang. All right. All right, we take those. That way. That's a great hit from your teammate there. Ghost should, yeah, you're fine. The Ghost should not have went for that ball. The chase, I love it. Well done. Only if you had the hit there. Let's see the recoveries now. I want to see supersonic downfield. This is something I see a lot from players is they don't want to use their boost because they want to get back with boost because that's what they're taught. That is what I teach. That is 100% correct. I will actually, let's literally do it really quick in free play. Is all it takes, truthfully, just so I can show you, is a little bit like 20 boost and one good diagonal front flip, like diagonal flip, maybe two is all it takes to be supersonic when coming out of the net. So if I am right here and I'm driving into the net and maybe I don't land super well, a little bit of boost and 25 boost and one diagonal flip, probably less, truthfully, has me supersonic, and that's all you need to do, right? Same with wave dashing off the wall. I can be halted right here, but if I go up on the wall, wave dash off and go into a diagonal flip, I didn't use an ounce of boost yet, but I'm supersonic, just like that, with technically the time of one flip, just by doing that. And this is a huge skill I work with, and anyone who is one of my patrons in chat right now knows that I harp this on them all the time, of this is one of the ways to feel like a faster player, is by doing things like this, that I haven't used an ounce of boost since that very first move. You can see in the bottom left is how it tracks it. Same thing, we'll track it again. So maybe I clunkily kind of fall on the net, and I need a little bit of boost, and just like that, 25 boost on the dot again, I'm supersonic, right? I actually boosted a little bit at the end, and I would have had it anyways, but that is a huge thing I see with a lot of players, is they're worried to use boost because they're taught not to, so they can save a bit for when they get back in net or until they get enough pads, let's say, to get supersonic. But the front flips, it takes 3 front flips to get you supersonic. It takes you 1 diagonal front flip and 20 to 25 boost to do it otherwise, right? And you already had 18 in this point, so you need 1 pad and you have more than enough to get supersonic, get out of that play, rather than being kind of slow getting out of it. So just another little note with it. And again, a lot of things I'm seeing with you right now are little, like so little, that I know you can work on, and I'm going to be nitpicky because I see that you're a good player with some good skill, and I'm going to continue to be nitpicky on these things because I think it's important right now for your development as a player. So do we see this goal already? I think we did, right? Yeah, his boom. Cool. Oh my god, hello Mike. Sorry, chat. There we go. Cool. Ah, so he can wave dash. We've seen it now. Oh, this is Trauma Llama. Hello? Been lied to this whole time. Good pop. See these front flicks right now? They're just not the most efficient flip you can be using for coming back. You were supersonic there, so it was completely fine, but something to really keep in mind here. Good try. Head back post right away. Beautiful. But like, why wait so far back, right? See how far back you are right now? Of like, it ends up working out, but you're so far that you can't be part of the play anymore, right? And you end up just kind of being hard stuck back there. And this is why you continue to be this third man, is you are, so you're not in the number 2 spot. See how far back you are right now? You could force a play, do something a little more relevant, little things like that. Good shot, great shot. Waste some boost from the goalie. Should have a teammate there. Unfortunately, now your team is taking the turn to sit back so much. There's the aggression. Let's go, Nick. That's what we want. See you make him waste boost and now your teammate's all over it. But so stay. Don't always go back for the big boost. Right now, as you jump, if we go into fly cam, this is why I'm so anal about this kind of stuff, man. Look how many pads are on screen right now that you could stay tight on. As you flick, you go bang, 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 bang. There's so many, and this is obviously a very exaggerated loop of what you could do. But even if you wanted to do like just to here, and you stayed in the area that you basically did, but you stayed close enough that you can make a low boost play while doing it, and you didn't have to completely leave and give up that pressure. Because now, like I said, if we watch this, when this ball pops out, if you were going for this little boost right here, you could have just drifted, right, and went back for it. I know I sound like fired up right now, because I am, because it breaks my heart, because this is what players are taught. This is what you and like every other Rocket League player is taught, but it's not right. It is right until like Diamond, and then when you're into Champ, this is how you get to Grand Champ. It's changing this mentality, changing the idea that you always need to be back and be safe, because being safe is not fast. It's not how teams play. It's nothing like that. So this is a huge thing for me, and I'm hoping that I can kind of like highlight that a little bit here. narrowly make a great save. Good wave dash, beautiful play, and you have to recover in time, but you're still rushing the jump, right? It's like so right now, you come in, he tips us, you know it's over. So now you got a hard break and wait. Does Ghost Maceo go for it? If he doesn't, your ball. Take it. If he does, great. You play goalie now and wait. But when you rush this jump, now Ghost Maceo is forced to have to make a play by himself now without boost, right? When you could have actually been the one clearing that off to the side with that supersonic, with that speed, with the boost that you had already had. So, yeah. See what I mean? All the way back. Let's take a peek here, because I'm gonna be so nitpicky on you right now, Nick. I'm gonna be nitpicky. You ready? Actually, no. Let's go back to. I want to go back to fly for this. So we'll go back slightly. So you make your play, and now you're like, my turn to rotate out. Hobson's getting ready to be the number 2, and you're rotating out as the number 3. Your lane right now. You have one pad there. Bang, 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 bang. This, again, looks disgustingly chaotic. The reason it looks so chaotic is because what you need to be doing is, if you are always following these routes across and getting your pads and staying tight, you are moving into the position of your rotation at whatever oh my god, the hiccups, at whatever speed you need to. Hobson is now be rotating. He's going to be the number 1. He's coming in right here as the number 1 as this ball makes its way all the way across. He's now going to be the number 3. So what does that make you? That makes you the number 2, meaning you're going to be supporting Hobson. You can't do that if you are going all the way back to your end. That just means if he loses his challenge, you've lost pressure. So that means your rotation, if we get rid of all of this, your rotation right now, technically if you had full boost, would be this, right? You're just going to be coming in to support as the number 2, to support the number 1 who's challenging the corner, for the number 3 to get boost, and then be the worst 3 on the planet, to be the number 3 moving in right here. That is your standard triangle rotation of Rocket League, right? Like that is, I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you learned that when you were platinum or diamond. How do you keep that is by grabbing your pads. You be coming in, and so you see this line right now. Do you have tons of time? Currently, yes, you do, but this is all play dependent. If you have tons of time, great. Grab that one, 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 grab that one. Maybe, and then now you can move into your spot. Do you only have a little bit of time? Great. So you're going to be coming in. You're going to get that one, that one, that one. Done. Boom. You have half a tank now. Or do you have all the time in the world kind of thing, but you still want to stay relevant, so you're not going all the way back just in case they lose the challenge? You can do the whole gauntlet if you want to, right? You can do whatever you want to as you're going around and get all those boosts, but this is where you need to be hovering right now. This is your sweet spot right here. You need to be staying here. And so we're going to watch the replay now and see what happens when you leave the zone. With none, I keep choosing you. That challenge is lost technically. So who's the number 2? It's you. It's got to be you in this play. So you need to be rushing this ball, and you could be the one winning this, and you actually end up double committing because you know it's supposed to be you. And Ghost Maceo makes the play, and now all 3 of you are in the air, and this ball is cleared the other way. This is the snowball. This is the decision to come back, play your boost, and play so passive that you give up possession at every single list. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at anything. I'm truthfully mad at the culture of Rocket League that this is what we teach players, because it's wrong. It is so wrong. And this is going to take a lot of effort and kind of thought and mind power and willpower to change, because it's so wrong. But it's so ingrained in you that that's why I'm driving it home with you right now. If you want to feel faster, this is what you got to change right now. Doing stuff like that, making plays, that was an irrelevant touch. I don't care. You made a touch that changed the matter of the game while you were technically out of rotation perfectly. That is what GCs do. That's what the pros do. That's what this high-level gameplay should look like, and that's what I need to expect from you right now. Questionable. I think you were trying to read the bounce up, but you see how awkward you are now. But that's okay. We're not going to talk about that. Oh, and you hit your teammate. No. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Little snowballs. See what I mean? Look how far back you are. Look where you are on the field right now. And now they have a one-on-one, if not for your teammate cutting off, right? You're so far back. Nice try. I saw it inching in a little bit too much, but because, man, like, you look like such a good player. You really look like you have a lot of talent right now. And if you're wondering what's the grand secret right now for you, you're probably one of the easiest people I think I can work with, where it's like, for you, it's just be more aggressive. And so I'll give you a little bit of homework at the end of this of things that you should probably look on. But I truly think we're gonna hit our full half hour anyways, just with this. And, oh, unfortunate, so unfortunate. Funny that you being too far forward is what causes the goal. Makes my coaching sound so irrelevant. But that's okay. That's okay. We can break this one down a little bit just so we can kind of see it a little better. So your teammate rushes the clear. This gets boomed back down the other way, and you clear it back down. Right now, you know that your teammate is not going to have a good... Easily at this point, you know he's not going to have a good challenge, so you need to be getting... At this point, what I'm doing, truthfully, is if I go to you with... I think... How do I get front view? I forget now. Maybe hard attach? Yeah. My thought right now, if I'm you, is I am rushing to the backboard. I know that there is a boom incoming because a big hit was just missed. So I'm hard rushing this backboard right now. And if we go to fly... Oh, I'm drawing. I'm a dumbass. If we go to fly here and watch this, as long as you go to backboard, that is such an easy save to make, right? To come in under. And so that's a huge part for you right now, is that there's just these little positional decision like blips that I'm seeing that I think are causing your goals against right now and are causing your downfall. Like I said, I don't think... Let me just see how many goals are in your win. They're on, yeah. So I'm not going to do your win now. If this didn't feel full, or if I didn't give you enough, just reach out to me, man, and we could talk a little one-on-one. But I do hope there was some stuff here. I truthfully, man, like, you're going to be one of the easiest I think I've ever worked with, where it is you have the skills, you got the aerials, you have a great shot. We saw it already twice in this game, some two phenomenal shots, but you only had like maybe 3 scoring opportunities in this game when you probably could have had 9, 10, 11, right? If you were a little more aggressive. So that's a huge part of this right now for you, and I think the big feedback I'm going to give you. Otherwise, you look stellar. You look so solid, and I guarantee a lot of the mid champs in chat right now are watching and are like, oh, I could play with this guy if you change that, right? That's a huge part of it. So keep that in mind. But that's where I'm going to leave it for now. Thanks again for supporting. Again, reminder to everyone in chat right now and anybody watching. This is all done through our ASAP Weekly Podcast Patreon. Commands are in my chat if you ever want to look it up. I do believe we're currently full on all my coaching tiers, but if you need to work something out with me, just shoot me a message and we can see what we can do. Replays are obviously quite easy for me to do. It's 30 minutes a month per person, so nice and easy to do. I can do them on stream, and I'm going to be doing a lot of them on stream, so just reach out to me if you want to hook it up, and we can talk about some prices and some things like that. So thanks again for the support. Thank you for everybody chatting, watching. Hope you learned a little bit, and that is where we're going to leave it. So thank you so much.